So I'm going to show you how to desensitize a horse, and I've been working with this horse so he's better, but hopefully he'll run around or do something, so you'll get to see how to do it. The main thing is though to get your equipment ready that you're going to desensitize with, and then as you do it you want your body relaxed. So when I go to desensitize my horse, I'm going to have him on a rope, but when I go to start flinging stuff over him, what you want to do with your body is make sure you don't act like a predator. So what I'm going to do is curve my body. So I'm going to curve my body, I'm going to cock my leg, and I'm going to relax my body. And then when I start throwing things over him, it won't be aggressive. If he starts running around, I'm going to keep turning his head towards me and keep throwing the object until I see a change in his attitude. I want to see that he's relaxed or he's calmed down. You can see that by either them standing still, of course, taking a deep breath out, lowering their head, cocking their leg, or you'll just see relaxation come over them. So what you're trying to do is get the horse used to things moving around him and him relaxing and not moving around. Your rhythm is very important, so as you do it, you're doing it with rhythm. You don't want to throw it, wait 3 seconds, throw it again, wait 10 seconds, throw it again. You're doing it with the same rhythm back and forth because the rhythm will relax the horse. The other thing, the timing, when you stop throwing the rope or the object moving around him has to be at the exact right time. So if I'm throwing the rope and the horse stands still and I go to stop throwing the rope and then the horse moves, you don't want to stop, you want to start throwing the rope again. So if I was doing it with fly spray and he was afraid of the fly spray and I'm spraying him and I go to stop and he moves, I'm going to start spraying him again. You want to make sure that you stop when the horse stops and relaxes, not when they move. And you got to be very strict about it because even one little movement, to them they could think that's when I move that my body towards her, that's when she stops spraying, and then we're teaching them the wrong. Okay, so when you start, I'm always starting with the rope because that's the most simple thing, and if they're afraid of the rope, well, they're definitely going to be afraid of everything else. So you got to start with that first. So when you do it, you're trying to stand out of the way so the horse, I'm trying to get him to take a step off. Okay. So the horse doesn't run over you. So I'm going to stand 45 degrees to his foot. I'm going to hold this about a foot away from the class, so if he starts running around I can turn him. And then you want to make sure this is tight enough. Now I use rope halters because it gives you more control. And then the ropes I'm using, it's a heavier rope, it has some weight, so if your rope doesn't have any weight to it, it's going to be hard to throw over the horse. So you have to get the right equipment first. And if you have questions on where I get my ropes and stuff, just message me. Okay, so I'm standing 45 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do is relax myself. So I'm curving my body, I'm cocking my leg, and then I'm going to start. You'll see he's relaxed, he has his leg cocked to start, but we'll see what happens. So when I throw this, you want to flick it out, and then I'm going to flick it up over him. The first one I'm going to do a little bit hard because I want to see if he'll move, so you get to see what I do when the horse moves. So again, I'm doing it a little bit extra hard, just to try to demonstrate to you what to do if they move. So sometimes they're okay with the first couple of times, and then you do it the third or fifth time and the horse goes running. So you're saying, Gay, you did a good job, and now I'm not afraid anymore. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it since he's doing fine and he's not running. So I go out and I go up and let the weight of the rope do the tossing up. So I'm starting with his top line, so I do his neck, his back, his butt, and then I do his back legs, and then his front legs. So I usually do it about 3 rounds of it. If he hasn't moved, I give him a break. And what you're trying to do, you like that, didn't you? Is the top line and then the underside, because this is more scary to them because they know if a predator gets them down here and gets their legs or their belly, they won't be able to run away. All right, so you always set yourself up again. And so the neck, the back, if he puts his head towards you, oh, there he goes, he's running. So that's good. So I'm going to keep throwing this towards him. Now if I can't reach him, I'll just throw it next to him, but I'm not going to stop. Perfect. Until he does the right thing. Now he stopped, but he's not many times I did it before that, and he was calm. So this horse, you know, has only had this for about a month, and I think he needs it many more months due to that. But also, if I was doing it correctly, but if you're doing it wrong, the horse could be fine with it, and then you're causing it to get reactive. So now I'm going to do it again. So neck, back, his butt, and then his back legs, and then his front legs. But again, see, if they have a meltdown, it's okay. The only way to get them over it is to work through it. So you saw I kept turning his head towards me. Hopefully the video got it. And I just kept throwing my rope. So it's the same thing if I have the bug spray or something else and they start moving. I'm just going to keep spraying. You know, I'll put water in that bottle because bug spray is expensive. But I'm going to keep spraying until that horse stands still and calms down. Okay. Good boy. So now I'm going to do it again. So, you know, do it a lot. The more time you have to spend with them, the more they're going to trust you, the more they're going to calm down and realize you're not going to hurt them when you throw something at them. The reason, you know, this guy is reactive is, you know, he's calm on the trail, and then nobody did this stuff with him because they just figured he's a calm horse. But he's not calm with the things moving around him on the ground. And this is just the rope, and you'll see I can do all sorts of other stuff once I get him through this. But this is usually where he has the meltdown, is with the rope, not with the other objects. So once I get started with him, he's pretty good. So what I try to do with this horse is, if I can, do it every day. So he just gets used to it. You know, if I can't, then every other day. But as much as I can, the desensitizing is almost more important to him than the riding, because the riding, you know, he's pretty decent. That'll come in time. But this is the part he really needs work on. Okay. So he's being pretty good. He's got his head down. He's got his leg cocked. He is over thinking I'm going to kill him. But, you know, if a random person came up, and even though I've done this well, and then started throwing a rope over him, and they're not relaxed or calm, he might start running around in circles again, because they have different energy. And again, horses are energy readers. So if you're concentrating too hard, you're trying to do this really well, you know, so you're like this, standing up, and you're not relaxed at all, and you're stiff, you know, then the horse is going to be stiff. If you relax yourself down, good boy, and stay relaxed, the horse is going to get better. And it's the same thing when you're riding. If you're tense up there, you're, you know, squeezing your butt cheeks, you're squeezing your thighs, you're trying to hold on and drive the horse and do all this stuff, then they get tense. I've had a fair amount of dressage riders, when they first get on these gaited horses, these horses start going really fast. And they're like, oh my God, they weren't going that fast with you. It's because I'm a relaxed rider, and they're, you know, kind of tense. They're driving with their seat, they're holding on with their thighs because they're used to these bouncy horses. But these horses you don't have to hold on to. It's just your balance because they're smooth. So you got to relax. You got to relax your buttock. You got to relax your thigh. You got to relax your shoulder. And you got to start breathing. And then that'll make it, you know, the horse is much calmer. So let me go back to the desensitizing for a second. So you throw this up over his neck, his back, but you'll keep seeing I wing it out his butt. And you won't be this good with the rope in the beginning, his back legs and his front legs. But it just takes practice, right? So when you go to get on the horse, I tell people, you know, breathe out, calm yourself down. And then when you first get on, sit there for a while, do lateral flexion or check your equipment, but just hang out, because you want it to start out calmly, not that you're, you know, getting on and immediately going. Then walk slowly, you know, make some circles, and maybe serpentine, or just walk around the ring, and practice being calm. Practice, you know, not squeezing with your butt, just letting your thighs be loose, and just being calm on the horse and getting it to bend, and not thinking everything has to be perfect to start, because first you got to build a relationship but the people that are relaxed around the horses, the happier the horses are. The people that are more tense, you know, or they're all over the place, the horses don't really trust them. So you'll see he went from running around to totally calm, because now he remembers, oh, it's you, I trust you, you're pretty calm around me, and you haven't hurt me, so I think I'll let you do whatever you want to me. But I got dirt all over you. So, you know, stay calm. You'll see my body's still relaxed, my leg is still cocked, my body's kind of curved, because to the horse, they're body readers, right, and energy readers. So if I present myself as relaxed, he'll be relaxed. If I present myself as tense, they'll be tense. So that's one of the reasons, you know, a lot of horses have problems with stall cleaners, because the stall cleaners come in with, you know, they got 50 stalls to clean in so many hours. So they come in with a job, they jam the wheelbarrow, they try to block the horse out of the way because they want to clean up that stuff. And the horse is reading their energy, like this guy is aggressive and he just blocked me with the wheelbarrow. I have to get out of here because he's going to kill me. And that's what's going through their head. So then the guy moves the wheelbarrow and moves the fork towards the horse, and the horse explodes, leaps over the wheelbarrow, knocks it over, knocks the stall cleaner over, and runs out. And then everybody says, oh my God, that horse is crazy. It's not that the horse is crazy. The guy cornered it. He was aggressive. He acted like a predator. And the horse does his natural thing, which is flee. The other one would be fight. So thank God he fleed and did not fight, because fighting from a 1,000-pound animal can really get us. So fleeing is bad too, but the horse acts naturally. They need to be calm. You'll see when the stall cleaners are kind and sweet and nice to the horses, or go in and pet them or give them a cookie before they start, and they're not aggressive with that pitchfork, the horses are much better. The horses are much calmer. Alright, so now let's swing the rope in a circle. So I'm going to keep my body calm. I'm going to start spinning. So he already licked his lips. That's a sign of relaxation. And then I give him a couple seconds break, and I'm going to do it again. So when you do this first, always do it far away from the horse. I can do it next to him because I do it all the time. But if you do it like this and you don't have control of that rope, you're going to smack that horse. He's going to go running, and you're going to have some issues. So I do this about 15 times. And then I give him a break, right? And don't grab my zipper. Now he grabbed my zipper before while I was talking, and I didn't do anything about it because I was talking to you. But if he grabs it again, I am going to do something about it. So, you know, if you don't catch a maneuver that, you know, you can't fix right away with your timing, you can't do anything 20 seconds later because they'll think you're beating them up for standing. So, you know, we're getting after them for standing. You got to do it right then, or you got to skip it like nothing happened and then just do it again the next time. So I would do it a bunch more times on this side, but for demonstration I'm going to move to the other side. He was good, but I still think he could be better. Okay. So again, 45 degrees to his foot. That way if he moves, strikes out, or does something like that, hopefully he won't hit me. So that's why you don't want to be right in front of the horse. And then I'm training each side of his brain. So I was on that left side of his brain, getting that eye used to everything and how it sees. And then I'm on the right side of his brain. So with this guy, even though most people do stuff from the left, and that's usually their calmer side, that's usually the side that he reacts on. That's the problem. He had more problems with his feet on that side than this side. So, you know, who knows what they did or what happened. I can't, you know, I'll never know that. But I do know that that side is not desensitized as well. So when I'm doing stuff, I got to work it more on his left side than his right. Okay, so again, swinging it 15 times. You know, start with it easy. When you don't know the horse, just nice swinging, but swinging with rhythm. And then, you know, as they get used to you and they're doing good, then you can amp it up. What you're trying to do is keep increasing pressure over time to get the horse used to you putting pressure on and nothing bad happening, and then just standing still. It's not about doing it all the first time and getting him over everything unless the horse is used to this stuff. Now, he moved a little bit, then he cocked the same leg again, so that was okay. I'm going to do the rope a little bit harder. About as hard as my wrist is going to take it right now. And then I'm going to stop. So same thing, I would do that a bunch more on that side. But for demonstration, we got to move through this so you won't watch this video because you'll be like, she's slow and boring. So now I'm going to whip it over his head. So before you do this, you got to do it without the horse and make sure you can get it up in the air. And you're not going to whack the horse in the head. And I do this 15 times. I want them used to things going over their heads in case somebody ever is going to throw a rope over their head. Or you're just talking with your hands up there or something else is going on. And again, you're waiting for a sign of relaxation or that I've swung it at least 15 or 20 times. Oops, pull my hat off. Now why is the lucky number 15? It's not. You're just trying to use a number, you know, that you do it a fair amount of times. So 3 is not a fair amount of times. The horse is not going to get used to it. So 20 times, 30 times, 15 times, anything within there. But again, stopping once the horse is relaxed. And then he has a noise above his head too. Okay. Most horses are people used to lunging them and running them around and then just throwing their equipment on and getting off. So the horses can be calm to start, and then over time the horses start being not so calm and getting fidgety because what the person is doing is not desensitizing them, they're sensitizing them. So they put them on the rope or in the arena loose or the round pen and they run him around. They're sensitizing him. They're trying to wear out the energy, but they're actually making that horse move a lot. And every time they're around the horse, they're making the horse move. They're never being slow or calm or, you know, methodical, moving things around. So again, what we're trying to teach them is, hey, sometimes I need you to move. Sometimes I just need you to be calm and stand still. The only way to get them to do that with you versus the trainer is you have to practice it. Sorry, I itch. So like I might be able to do it, and I show all the clients that are here how to do it. And with the horses, I leave all the videos up, but sometimes people don't watch those. You need to be able to do it with your own horse because they have to get used to you. Everybody's energy is different, and they will read that energy as timid, scared, tense, you know. And so that's why you'll see stuff at demos and stuff, and the trainer will go and the horse immediately calms down and follows the trainer around and all that because he has a calm energy. They want to be with that. They don't want to be with the tense, scared person. They want to be with the confident, calm person because that's what they're looking for in a leader. But you have to practice that to get there. All right, so now I'm going to do the flag. So stand on a diagonal, up and down with your flag 15 times. Now again, he just showed a sign of relaxation. He just licked his lips, so I'm going to give him a little break and then I'm going to do it again. So you start out slow and do it 15 times, and after you can do this a couple of days calm with them because I've been doing this with them. Now I'm going to go faster, but I'm still doing it with rhythm. Up and down, up and down. So I'm keeping the same rhythm. I'm not doing this. See, there I keep changing the number. What I'm doing in the second set's in between. So you're trying to keep it the same. So anything you work kind of with rhythm around the horse will get used to. Good boy. So that's another sign of relaxation. He gave a sigh and he cocked his leg. So now this is how I usually do it with him. Because again, once I get him used to it going easy, I want to be able to do it harder around him, and quicker, and faster, and get him used to more pressure. And then when he's good, I'm going to pet him. Okay, so again, I do it at least 5 more sets on that side, but you can go on the other side just to demonstrate it. So, I always start out easy. And then, again, if I've been doing it with the horse, then I'm going to amp it up. So I'm still holding him about a foot. Yeah. So it's a little noise moving around him, some action. And he's just standing here still. So you'll see he keeps turning his head towards me. That's okay, I'm just pushing it back. Some of them will turn their head the opposite way and try to get you on the other side because that's where they're comfortable. So if he did something like this and then got on this side and tried to push me that way, you just keep walking them. Because you're like, I know you don't like that side, so I have to do that side more for you to get used to it. So, Even when I saddle horses, I saddle them on both sides. I try to get off the horse on both sides, get them used to things on both sides with the boy. So again, I do it 5 more times on each side. Now as I'm doing this and they get better, once in a while I'll touch the horse in the beginning, just a little thing, and see if they freak out. And I know if they're okay with that, then I could probably start rubbing the horse with the flag. But you can't do that. If I get close to this horse and was doing it here, and I can't even do that, then I'm not going to be able to touch that horse with it. So I kind of do that little test, and then I touch it, and then over time I do more things. Because, you know, a bag might fly up from the trail and get out under my horse's legs, so I want them used to it. So I rub them all over it and move these things around them. The same thing, I do it about 15 times. So I look through the barn. You know, you'll see I always do it with the same stuff because I have new horses and they got to get used to the new stuff. But over time, once the horse is used to all this stuff, I change. I just find, oh, the horse spooked from the trash bag, so I'm going to use the trash bag. Oh, the horse spooked from, I don't know, the blanket over there blowing on the wind, so I'm going to use the blanket. I'm going to use anything that horse shows me he's scared of, so I get him over more and more things. So I use the tube because sometimes people do obstacle courses and they'll have these on the obstacle courses. And same thing, I'll start out far away from him. And once I know that they're okay, and I do because I've been doing this with them for a month, I'm going to go up and down next to him. I'm going to do it 15 times. Now you'll see him looking away. I just pull his head back because I can't desensitize him if he's not paying attention to me. So he's got to keep his attention on me. Right? So now I'll just push his head back over. So to me, he doesn't look very relaxed, but maybe I'm not relaxed because I'm not breathing. There he goes. Good boy. So remember, a lot of it is about you being relaxed when you're up on their back or when you're doing this on the ground. And a lot of you aren't going to be relaxed because you've never done this before and you got to learn how to do it. So here he just licked his lips too. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side, but normally I might do it 5 or 10, more sets on that side. The more you desensitize them, the better, especially if this is going to be a trail horse or a show horse, because you want to get them used to all these things moving around them. And again, if the horse is spinning around being crazy with all the stuff I'm doing with him, make sure your energy is relaxed first. And you're also trying to do it somewhere that there's not tons of things going around you. That's why a round pen is good or something quiet, because otherwise they'll be distracted by all the other things. Oh boy. So he can smell it and he can look at it or play with it. But again, I would do it a bunch of times, and then again, once I'm sure he's okay, I'll touch him by accident. Oh, it touched you. Did you freak out? No, he didn't freak out. So then I know, oh, I could probably just rub this over you and you'll be okay. And just use it like a grooming tool. But I go all around in their groin and everything and in their head, so he doesn't think this is a big deal. It's just a scratching post. Alright, I like to use bags because bags make noise. So I grab the bag. Same thing, relax my body, pat my leg. Here I go. Now I like to bang it because I like to make some noise with it. So I do it 15 times. Now again, if I've been doing it for a while with the horse and he's fine, then I'm going to do more with it. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with the bag. I might do it faster, I might try to do it louder. Good. So again, at least 15, 20 times. Touch him by accident with it, see what happened. If he's running around, well, then you got to desensitize the air more around him. And then I'm going to start scrunching it up around him. But if you can't even touch the top line here, I'm not going to go underneath. I would just work on the top line for a couple of days. And then, once they're better, then I might go underneath. But again, just pretend it's like a brush and you're just brushing them with it. What's the big deal? Okay, So again, do it a bunch of times on the side. I know I keep saying it, but it's because I'm doing it once and I'm moving over to the other side just so you can see. And now I would do it on this side. Body's relaxed, legs cocked. Try to breathe once in a while because it's hard when I'm talking. Good boy. But he did okay with it. Again, it's a grain bag, so they shouldn't be afraid of it. Once they realize it comes with grain in it, most of the horses are happy with it. But, you know, a grain bag will go flying around someday and you don't want your horse freaking out. I use umbrellas because we see umbrellas on the trail. I also like the umbrellas because they pop open. Sooner or later something's going to pop around your horse, so I like to pop it open. He doesn't care, but he did when I first started doing this. So I pop that right by them because I want them to get used to that. And then again, any object I'm moving up and down 15 times. They like this one once they get used to it because they get air. And it's been so hot here, right? He's playing with it. So then I also will touch him with this, which I might do in some of the videos, I might not. I will put it on him. And then you'll also see me walking around with it. So I would do the other side with it, and then what I do is, if they're, you know, if I couldn't get very close to the horse, or say I can't do the umbrella at all because they're so freaked out, I walk around with it because whatever they follow, the horse will feel that it's pushing it away, and the horse will get braver and braver. So I'll walk around with it. Now if the horse is really scared, he might be 20 feet behind me, but that's the closest we go in the beginning. And then over time they'll get better and better. And over time I start moving the umbrella around. Because we might see somebody with an umbrella and they go, oh, your horse might get scared, and they bring it down, where, you know, a horse might have been fine like this. So you want to move it around so the horse knows it moves and it's okay, it's nothing that's going to hurt them, right? And I'm going to shut it down because they might pop it down as well, right? So that's okay. He just moved because it popped, but otherwise it was fine. I use noises. I use a bike bell, so the horse is used to a bike bell because sooner or later you'll hear that on the trail. But anything you can find that their horse is afraid of, even if it's just your, you know, lunge whip. Your horse shouldn't be super afraid of your whip. You want them to move away from things when you ask them, but when you don't ask them, you don't want them to be afraid of those things. So I put all my stuff in the bag, and I walk around with that and carry it and get them used to me just having loud stuff, and it's not a big deal. I also use a bull whip, but you have to know how to crack a bull whip before you use one next to a horse, because same thing, you might hit it and freak the horse out. So you have to be good with it in order to do that. Let me see if there's fly spray. So this guy wasn't that great with fly spray in the beginning. So when I fly spray him, I do it here. I don't have them tied up because I want to get them over it. So if they move, it's okay. I just tilt their head towards me. So same thing when you go to spray with fly spray. I've had people where the horses were fine with fly spray, and then over time the horse is starting to freak out with the fly spray. It's because the person comes up and they want to get every little spot, and they're kind of like this, and they get very aggressive with the horse with the fly spray. Or they're talking to people and they're just spraying it all over. Think about if you were standing there and your friend came up and just started spraying stuff around you. You'd be like, that's my face, that's my eye, don't do it there. Because they're not relaxed. But if your friend came up and said, hey, I'm just going to put some fly spray on you because there's some flies, and they did it calmly, you'd be okay also. So it's the same with the horse. Start calmly, hold this a foot from their head, and I'm just going to calmly start, well, I'm going to calmly turn it on, and then I'm going to spray. Now I just sprayed a couple of times. I didn't do his whole body. So I do 2 to 3 times, and then I stop and give the horse a little breather. You're okay. So I'm doing it calmly, and I'm not talking, well, I'm talking to you, but I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. And even if I bend over, I don't want to be aggressive about it. And the fly spray can make weird noises. And sometimes it doesn't work, so you're shaking it up and other things, and the horse just doesn't understand that it gets flies off of that. So now I'm going to spray here. So you'll see I'm only going about 3 times and then I give him a break. And he's much better. He used to run around in circles when we did this. So now, if you're trying to get them over fly spray is very expensive, and the manufacturers would like nothing more than you to desensitize your horse to the fly spray every day and use all their fly spray. But what you do is you just put water in the bottle. The horse doesn't know the difference. And you use that and just do it every day with your desensitizing stuff or with your grooming, and you do it all over again. Another thing this horse was afraid of was his temperature being taken. So I put the thermometer, in the grooming box, and every day I just take his temperature. Now he doesn't care, but he didn't know, and how often do they have their temperature taken? Only when they're sick. So anything that horse is afraid of, I'm going to work on. If he got injured and I had to wrap his legs and he was bad with that, well, I would do it every day. And then if he still wasn't over it once the injury got bad, I just start wrapping his legs every day. It's part of what we're doing, and I'm going to get you over it. Same thing with if I was putting bell boots on them or boots. You want to get them over it so they get used to it. But you put them on and off and you stay calm. Again, there are energy readers. That's why, when you talk about horses, sometimes we say they're a mirror of us. Each horse has its own personality, but then we kind of put our personality on them as well. So if we have a horse that's kind of in between, when I say he's in between, he's not really dominant, he's not a leader, he's a follower, but he'll go if you make him. Those are great horses, but you gotta have the right people for him, because if you put a lead person on a leader, that'll make that horse braver, and that horse will go anywhere by himself. If you put somebody submissive on it and stick it in the back, that horse will just follow along and take care of that submissive person. The bad thing is if you put the submissive person on him and tell him to take him out by himself, that horse isn't going to go. And they'll be like, he went with you, why won't he go with me? Because they're reading your energy. And what is he read? You're submissive, you're not a leader, you're more a follower, you're kind of scared, you don't really know how to steer me, and I just don't trust going out there with you, because I think if we have a problem, I don't know what to do, and you don't know what to do. So why would I want to go out there with you? So that's the big difference with how these horses react to people. So I can take one that's spooky or scared and get it to do what I want, where somebody else can't, because I'm going to lead them. I'm going to take them by the hand and say, hey, we can do this. I got you. I might have to get off to show you, but I got you. And then I'm going to get back on and show you how to do it, and we'll get you through this and show you how to be a good horse and have a good life. But you take somebody else who does it wrong, then they scare the horse, and then all of a sudden the horse has these issues. They don't want to leave the barn. They come home fast, all these things, because they don't trust that person they're with, and all they want to do is be with their buddies, because their buddies make them feel safe, they're in a herd, and they have food and comfort, and that's what they're looking for. So again, the desensitizing helps a lot with all these things in building a relationship with the horse, but if you don't do it right, you won't make your horse better, you'll make it worse. Okay, anything else I should tell them? I think that's it for now. Hopefully this has helped, but remember, when you're doing these things, it's not all about the equipment or whose halter you're using or whose technique you're using. It's about how you're doing it with the horse. It's the rhythm, it's the timing, it's your energy, it's if you're tense, if you're relaxed. All those things make a big difference, and it's practice. So with any of these things, a special bridle, a special bit, a special rope, that's not going to do it. It's got to be you putting in the time, practicing with your horse, realizing that he's had some holes in his training, he needs some help, and then building a relationship with them. If you don't want to put that time in, or you don't want to have a relationship with them, but you still want to ride, then you need a trainer. You need to be at a barn where there's a trainer so they can do those things for you, and you can pay them, and then you can get on and ride safely. If you're not going to do that, and you're going to have the horse home, then I recommend you don't get a horse, because this is what they're all about. And that's what we enjoy about them, is the relationship. But if you're not willing to work with them or help them or work through things with them, even if you have the most perfect horse, you're going to take training off in time, and you're going to need some help, and you're going to have to work through those things. So if you don't, it's much better if you get a four-wheel or a motorcycle or dirt bike, something like that, because these are creatures, they're alive, they react just like we do, and so they have to work with somebody who's going to help them with that. That's why they always want to be together, because they understand each other, and that's where they feel more comfort. The other thing, when you first get a horse, if you stick it in with another horse and then you don't do much with it, you know who the horse bonds with? That horse. You want it to bond with you, so I always tell people, put it in a stall, put it somewhere you can catch it, do the desensitizing, the riding, work with it, and then in time put it with the other horse. But again, it's natural for them to want to bond with that horse. If you get a horse and just stick it in there, and then a month later you take it out and you're like, oh, it's barn sour, and then you blame the trainer or who you bought that horse from, that's not it. He wasn't barn sour. He came to a new place, he made a new friend, and they get moved around so much, so he thinks, hey, if she takes me away, I might never see that guy again, and that's my buddy, and I keep losing my friend, so I'm going to do everything I can to stay with him. So just remember that in the back of your head. It takes time to work with these guys, but the more you work with them, the more rewarding it is.